Welcome to the ex-con Journal. Timothy here, and I want to share a few thoughts that I shared during a group that I attend every Sunday, ACIM. Look up the acronym if you're curious about it, but I kind of discussed my concern about what I'm going to call PTSD or intrusive memories as an ex-con. And, we all have our memories, right? And I kind of judge my memories as being less, I don't know, useful, maybe, than a lot of people's memories. It's like people bring up these memories they have in their lives, and it all seems quite lovely sometimes. Um, and then someone will talk about something, and it'll remind me of something that happened in prison. And seems like a lot of people don't have those memories, but you know, and I remember working two jobs, you know, um, while I was still drinking early in my what they refer to as my drinking career, and no one calls it a career except for alcoholics, and being an ex-con, I might call my alcoholism a cell or a prison of its own. But anyway, I didn't show up for work one day, and I had someone contact my work and tell them that I had been attacked by a bunch of guys, and they pulled me out of the car and beat me. And then I started getting cards of, sympathy, basically. All this compassion flowed out, and all these people from my work had told me how much they cared about me. I didn't know that anyone really even noticed I was alive, much less cared about me. And and the way we view ourselves is how we relegate our consciousness of other people too. And I knew I was dishonest, and I didn't tell them that the guys that pulled me out of the vehicle and were beating me were doing so with batons, and they were cops, and I had been in a stolen car, and they thought I was resisting when I wasn't, but my belt, when they were pulling me out of the car, my belt got caught on the uh, three on the tree shifter, and um, and they thought I was resisting. They're pulling me out of the car, and then they always, like a bunch of them, pulled me at once, and then my belt broke because of the strain they put on it, and I hit the ground. And as they were starting to hit me, one cop had been yelling, "He's not resisting, he's not resisting." I think he realized that I had gotten caught on, the something in the vehicle, and he could see that I wasn't resisting. It was like a lump, you know. Um, but in any case, and when I got all those cards right, I felt really bad and um, and guilty, you know. And that's a memory. And when other people call in sick for work, sometimes it's real and sometimes it's not. Alcoholics tend to um, have say they have a flu and really just have a hangover or whatever. But my hangovers usually ended up in quite different setting, and wake up in the morning, before I open my eyes, and if my I roll over and I put out my arm, and if my hand hits concrete, I know it's going to be a bad day, and if it hits carpet, I might be okay. But selling my freedom for a drink has through the years you know, it was a thing. And they say if you're an alcoholic, you have an allergy to alcohol. And my allergy was I broke out in handcuffs. And it's an old joke in recovery, but it was apropos, definitely in my case, while it was metaphorical in many people's cases. But when I brought this memory up and some other really difficult memories that I had in prison, some guy got stabbed and I saw it, and it was horrifying to see it, and to pretend it didn't bother me because you can't let people see that you're weak in any way, shape, or form in prison. Otherwise, you could be next. So, but it was a horrible thing to witness. And it wasn't the only time I saw something like that. And I used to ask God, well, why are you letting me see things like this? What's the point? But through my sobriety, I've realized that the prison that we construct for ourselves in our own mind is the real prison. And, the things that have happened in the past, when I bring it up to so-called normal people, sometimes they say, I had things in my life that triggered me, and I do realize from hearing people share their stories so often that, we can help each other with our stories, and I don't have to be silent, and I don't have to like whitewash my story and try to clean it up for public consumption too much. I mean, it's okay to have boundaries, and I'm not trying to be shocking to people. That's not the point. But if you saw it, um, imagine, have some compassion for the person that saw it. You know, um, it was traumatizing to me too, and even having the memory. So, and different people in the group today weighed in on it, and Dave, um, one of the guys in the meeting, said, you know, if they would have known why you were really not showing up for work, if they knew the true story behind it, they might have been compassionate for you as a human for other reasons, like, oh my gosh, how did he get in this situation? Maybe, being an alcoholic and being in trouble with the law and things like that. They might have had compassion for me, and I just assumed they wouldn't. And so it's kind of like I don't give people a chance to love me as I am because, well, I couldn't love myself as I was. And my girlfriend has said many times in our relationship when we're talking about people, she'll say, I wonder what happened to that person, that the person would be like that or have that reaction. And that was very insightful. So I try to have compassion for myself. It's like, well, what happened to me that I would have this reaction, and trying to turn my triggers into glimmers, and to see things differently where I can, maybe view my memories as just opportunities to help my fellow human beings, and don't assume that they're going to judge me and that I'm less valuable as a person because I have these memories. And don't be silenced into self-contempt. It's like, oh, I can't handle hearing what you went through. Don't tell me that. Why do you have to bring it up? I don't want to, shock or hurt people, but I can't tell you how many people that you'd look at and they've got family histories that you might not even guess they have. And you know, the most secure prison in the world is one we construct for ourselves. And C.S. Lewis said the door to hell is only open from the inside. And these little truths and quotes that I've read through the years, like they're a piece of the puzzle that get enough blessings through these quotes and through words people share about things I've shared, and another piece of the puzzle clicks into place. And then over time, I see a bigger picture from all the pieces of the puzzle that are getting put together. And it's like God can see the end product of that puzzle. And, I remember the associate warden in Missouri calling me on the carpet into his office because I refused to work on Sundays for religious reasons. Uh, and he asked why, and I said, well, it's my religion. I said, God told me not to work on Sunday, and so I don't. He slammed his fist on his desk and said, in this prison, I'm God. And I just said, no, you're not. But I could look at this guy, and something told me that he was an alcoholic, practicing alcoholic, and I didn't know what an alcoholic was then, but I just had this feeling that he was an alcoholic, and that his, for some reason I felt sorry for him. And I saw him as a human being that was in pain. Um, and that wasn't me. That, I don't know, maybe it is in my nature to try to be compassionate or something. Whatever it is, I just saw that in you. And ironically, 2 years later, God died of a heart attack, and I didn't wish that on him. You know, but the irony of how we look at life, and he got to go be with his maker, and go back to his original identity. And our original identity is here now, whether it's him, his identity as a true child of God was always there. Same with me. And I just don't think the way God views us is limited. It's like there's no prison wall so thick that God can't get through it. That's something I learned in a prison cell. And so just thought I'd throw out a few of these ideas, and I think I'm going to put this particular ex-con journal into my newsletter and send it out. A few new people have joined my newsletter, and so hopefully I'll get some positive feedback. So yeah, let's pass on the love in this world and forgive yourself for your mistakes and try to help someone else with them. Maybe you'll be surprised at how your story can help someone if you're an ex-con, find a way to make a difference in someone else's life. So many good things that I have in my life came from trying to share and with others, things that had happened in my life. So if you love someone really, or forgiveness is a form of love, but if you love someone, you won't hurt them, right? And if you love someone, and you might be that someone, you won't hurt yourself. So, and if you don't tell 3 people a day that you love them, you probably wasted a day of your life. And just be aware there's a lot of ways to do that. And, it doesn't have to be the L word. A lot of people are afraid of saying the L word. So I'd suggest not being too afraid of it, but some people can't receive it, so do it a different way. My love language is the spoken word and affirmations, not in a needy way, but just in a natural, organic way. No one wants to hear a bunch of BS affirmations. It's got to be rooted to the true human mind and heart, or the heart of an animal, or the heart of a tree, nature. So, all right, that's it for today. Be the change you want to see in the world, transmute your issues, and um, think about Phoenix 490. Peace out.